I'm here at the airport. I'm about to board my flight for San Salvador. The goal of this mission is to let the Trump administration, to let the government of El Salvador know that we are going to keep fighting to bring Agrego Garcia home.
So not only are Democrats rushing to defend an illegal criminal foreign terrorist gang member, but also an apparent woman beater.
A foreign country, a country which he came from, which he was basically got
It's not a foreign country. He lives there.
Excuse me, no, he does not live there.
He's a citizen of El Salvador.
Scott, excuse me.
He's out there deporting people that have legal status to be here, revoking student visas from students that are contributing to this country.
He doesn't have legal status to be here, Congressman. He has a deportation order. You're going to go to El Salvador. You're going to go to El Salvador. Maybe go to the grocery store. Like, there's an issue here where you could possibly win on, but you're going to El Salvador.
Guys, the Democrats done seriously goofed again, okay? They effed up because this stupid senator, Chris Van Hollen, Maryland senator, is flying to El Salvador to rescue, like, Mr. Captain Save a Ho. He's hella simping for this Kilmar Garcia fellow, even though he's a verified MS-13 gang member and now an alleged wife beater, according to his own wife, who has court documents, including a restraining order against him. But before we get deeper into that, I want to show you guys this clown shows up to El Salvador thinking that he's gonna somehow rescue Kilmar.
So I asked the vice president if I could meet with Mr. Agrego Garcia. And he said, well, you need to make earlier provisions to go visit CCOT. I said, I'm not interested at this moment in taking a tour of CCOT. I just want to meet with Mr. Agrego Garcia. He said he was not able to make that happen. He said he needed a little more time. I asked him if I came back next week, whether I'd be able to see Mr. Agrego Garcia. He said he couldn't promise that either. So I asked him if I could get on the phone, either video phone or just a phone, and talk to Mr. Agrego Garcia. So I could just ask him how he's doing so I could report back to his family. He said he could not arrange that. He said maybe if the American embassy were to ask, maybe that could happen. So I will certainly ask the American embassy to ask the government of El Salvador to connect us by phone. I asked him how about his family? How can he talk to his wife so that she can hear his voice? I let him know that the family has requested that. He said he was not sure whether he could make that happen.
Now, what would make you think that you could just show up to another country and demand to speak with somebody in a maximum security prison? What, he's just gonna go up in there, put your cape on, you know, ride up in a horse and like, hey, I'm here to save you, Mr. Illegal Alien. Guys, this is one of the stupidest hills I've ever seen the Democrats die on. And I mean ever. And they pick a lot of stupid things. Men and women's sports is one of the stupidest things. That's definitely one of the craziest things. Maybe the number one crazy thing. But in terms of just plain stupid, this, I think, may win the prize because, look, Pam Bondi just released this information today. Let's take a quick look at this. Okay? Kilmar, Agrego Kilmar. This is straight from a source that she posted. Okay, it's got there's a whole document. Prince George's County Police Department gang field interview sheet. Okay, they got the whole gang information on here. Okay, and it's got Kilmar's name on here. Okay, so there's a couple pages I want to focus on. I'm not gonna go over every single page. Okay, but it tells you that he is gang affiliated. Okay, it says gang member. This is MS-13. I'm not going to pronounce what the MS stands for, but MS-13. Member status. Active. Okay, here's Kilmar's face. Same guy. All right, let's skip around a little bit. So the information's out there for anybody who wants to see it. I'm going to try to remember to post a link to this in case any of you guys want to see it and want to share with any of your little libtard friends. So this guy, he's a citizen of El Salvador, yada, yada, yada. Gang validation. Per the police unit, Agrego was validated as a member of the MS-13 gang. It says right here, gang validation. Agrego Garcia was validated as a member of MS-13 gang. This information was provided by blank. We don't know exactly who the person was. It sounds like some sort of informant, maybe somebody undercover, who knows, maybe even a buddy of his. Provided truthful and accurate information in the past. Okay, so it says, in addition, Agrego has gang affiliation and the subject states that he has no information about gangs or human smuggling. So that's Garcia is saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Of course, he's just going to just come right out and say, yeah, of course I'm MS-13. Go ahead and arrest me and send me back to my home country. Of course he's not going to say that. But let me skip toward the end here because they're pretty specific in saying that he's a flight risk. After considering the information provided by both parties, the court has concluded that no bond was appropriate in this matter. The court first reasoned that the respondent failed to meet his burden of demonstrating his relief from custody would not pose a danger to others, as evidence shows that he is a verified member of MS-13. Okay, so the court concluded he could not receive bond because he is a verified member of MS-13. So how much additional more evidence do the Democrats need? I mean, do they need like a video of him shooting somebody, or would that be considered? It was AI. It was an accident. How do we know it was an accident? I mean, how much evidence do you need? If court papers are not enough, then I dare ask, what the hell is? Caroline Levitt went off. She brought Rachel Morin's mom, the unfortunate mother of this woman who was killed, 5 children Rachel Morin had. And I can't imagine what it would be like. Now you're a grandmother of 5 kids, but your daughter's gone. And Caroline Levitt went off explaining in detail, hey, this guy is not only just a gang member, he's also a verified wife beater.
And 2 separate judges found that Agrego Garcia was a member of MS-13, and that finding has never been disputed. And just this morning, it was revealed through Maryland court documents that Agrego Garcia's wife petitioned for an order of protection against him for 2 instances of domestic violence in May of 2021. And here is the order right here. The court ordered that the respondent committed the following acts of abuse. Once in May of 2021, assault in any degree. And on May 4th of 2021, he punched and scratched his wife, ripped off her shirt, and grabbed and bruised her. This is from a court in Maryland. So not only are Democrats rushing to defend an illegal criminal foreign terrorist gang member, but also an apparent woman beater. To set all of that aside, the basic fact that he was illegally inside our country and had a lawful deportation order made him subject to removal back to his home country of El Salvador. And if he ever ends up back in the United States, he would immediately be deported again. Nothing will change the fact that Agrego Garcia will never be a Maryland father. He will never live in the United States of America again.
Directly from the horse's mouth. So a note from the wife, she's given a written statement here. I told him to give me his card to pay. He got angry and started insulting me. I only put a few of gas. Once leaving there, he pulled out like crazy. I started recording because I was scared of the way he was driving and because our 1-year-old was in the back seat. In the recording, you can hear him yelling, insulting me, and driving extremely fast. The person whose Maryland father is driving hella fast with their 1-year-old in the back. And then she put the date. I was watching on my laptop and he yelled, "Turn it off." I told him I wasn't sleepy and he got angry, reached over and shut it and threw my laptop on the floor, and the baby started to cry because he was putting pressure on him. I can't see what that said. Immediate reaction was to push him off of us, and then he punched and scratched me on my left eye, leaving me bleeding. That same day at 2 p.m. he came home and to say he was going out with his friend. I told him that I needed to go to pick up some orders at BJ's, and he got angry and started yelling again to the point that he ripped my shorts and shirt off. I ran to the bathroom. He ran behind me, grabbed my arm. I have marks on my left arm as well. He then left, came home at 12, left my car, parked in the neighborhood in the morning. locked him, asked him for the key, and he said he wasn't going to give it to me because he has things to do, order Uber to leave with my kids because scared of him. Minutes later, he called that our car wasn't there anymore. At this point, I'm afraid to be close to him. I have multiple photos and videos of how violent he can be and all the bruises he has left me. Okay, and then it says, I can't see, what's this last part? The child is with me. Okay, somebody probably told her, like, hey, add this on there. She said, the child is with me. Okay, this is back in May 5th, 2021. So let me guess, the fake news is going to say, oh, this was a forged document. Has the document been validated? Like, do we need to get a notary on this? Like, these people are going to just say anything, guys. This is from the horse's mouth.
The media has zero credibility. And I'll tell you this, when we talked about Rachel Warren earlier today and MS-13, a USA Today reporter came into my office in the West Wing and said, the evidence that Caroline Levitt mentioned, is that the only two things that you can point to? And I said, are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind? That's the only two things. He's a woman beater. That's USA Today.
I mean, we have a stack of papers so high from detectives and from judges in Maryland, a blue state, on Garcia, it'll make your eyes bleed.
So after all of this, imagine you fly to El Salvador and you're going there because maybe somewhere in your mind, you're hoping that the Trump administration is just wrong. Maybe you're just so Trump deranged, you just assume that he was wrong, which is what the fake news and these stupid Democrat politicians always try to do. And then they keep making a fool of themselves over and over again. But guys, imagine you do all of that. I don't know how far away this place is and how long it takes to get there. I've never flown to El Salvador, but I'd imagine it's not a super short trip. You're doing all of this. And then on top of everything else, not only is he actually MS-13, which you thought you could get away with pretending like he wasn't and just saying, oh, Trump administration is lying. He's lying, and just say it over and over again as if people are going to believe it. That worked so well in the 2024 election, didn't it? And now this guy is also a wife beater where his own wife needed protection. Of course, it's not funny that his wife is getting beaten, but it's just funny as hell that the stupid Democrats are so dumb that they didn't think to check to see who the hell they're trying to rescue before you start simping, before you make yourself into a stupid little cuck, a fool, a little pussy. Check and see who the hell you're trying to fight for, you freaking idiots. I'm so tired of these stupid radical leftists defending criminals. I'm so tired of it. Fight for the people back here. You gotta find kids without their mama. I'm tired of it. But guys, look, let me go ahead and react to Scott Jennings cooking this Robert Garcia fellow. Okay, I need to catch my breath because I'm seriously tired. 5 kids, guys. Let me go ahead and react to this. This is a little bit more lighthearted.
Well, I'm more than happy to hear the congressman say they're all going to El Salvador. I think for Republicans, this just confirms what we have believed about the Democratic Party and why it currently has a 21% approval rating in Congress. Look where the energy in the Democratic Party is. It's around retrieving illegal aliens from El Salvador. It's around fighting for these college campuses that have been rife with anti-Semitism. It's around biological males who want to play in girls' sports. This is why they are losing to Donald Trump every day, because the energy that Democrats feel comes on all these issues that are fundamentally not where the American people are.
Congressman, one second. Congressman, can I give you the chance to respond to that?
Donald Trump. Yeah, I mean, it's Donald Trump that's actually losing the support of the American people. Donald Trump's not focused on lowering the costs of housing, not focused on lowering the price of goods. He's out there deporting people that have legal status to be here, revoking student visas from students that are contributing to this country.
He doesn't have legal status to be here, Congressman. He has a deportation order. You're going to go to El Salvador. You're going to go to maybe go to the grocery store. Like, there's an issue here where you could possibly win on, but you're going to El Salvador.
This guy has no. He had a deportation order in 2019 before he started beating his wife, at least according to the paperwork. but they keep saying that this guy had every right to be here. No, he didn't. He literally came to the country illegally to begin with, didn't have a right to be here then, and had a deportation order. And so the whole due process thing y'all keep arguing for, that everybody need due process, he had due process, you freaking idiot.
It's okay that someone walking into getting their citizenship, walking into their citizenship test, their citizenship meeting, is being apprehended on the way into their next process, which just happened to somebody in Vermont, and it's happening now across the country. Students are being deported and revoked of their student visas. Yes. Many are not being told why that's the case. That should not be happening in the
false. They're being told it's because they're being pro-Hamas. As far as I'm concerned, they see you burning an American flag and you're not a U.S. citizen, you're out of here.
United States. And certainly someone shouldn't be deported and being left in a prison in a foreign country when the Supreme Court says it should be returned back. And so those are the questions. And by the way, as Democrats and as a Congress and a government, we should be able to do multiple things at the same time. We should be able to take on billionaires who are raiding the government. We should be able to take on Elon Musk, who has no business being in charge of Doge. And yes, protecting the civil rights and human rights of people that are in this country and entrusted to us. And so, yes, Scott, we can do all of those things. And it's Donald Trump who actually defined the Supreme Court and whose numbers are going down.
Kate Bedingfield. I would also just say to your the energy from Democrats is on these issues. Let's also look at the elections that have taken place since November of 2024. You've seen the Republican agenda start to be rejected. You saw it rejected in Wisconsin, where Elon Musk was at the center of the race there. You saw Democrats with an enormous amount of energy and independents with an enormous amount of energy come out and reject the agenda. So, I think let's look at where the election, where the...
Is this person trying to do some sort of victory lap about Democrats winning an election in Wisconsin when they won 2 additional elections? So I just don't understand what this person's point is. The Republicans won 2 congressional seats. The Democrats won a state Supreme Court seat that was expected to be lost. What the hell is this person even talking about?
Electoral voice of Americans has been since Trump was elected.
Can I ask the Congressman one question? Do you believe that Garcia should come back to the United States and be allowed to live here indefinitely?
I think that Garcia is allowed to due process. That's what I believe.
He had a due process. He had a deportation order in, you idiot.
Do you think he should be able to stay in the United States indefinitely, or would you support him being sent to another country?
What I would support is for him to be able to have due process in this country, which he's being denied of right now.
All right, Congressman, I do appreciate your willingness to answer questions from...
They just keep saying due process over and over again. Even if they get it, which he did, that's not enough. The only thing that should have happened differently is that they should have sent him somewhere else. And that's just because in 2019, he argued that he had no fear of going back to El Salvador. But they never deported him because obviously he didn't want to be deported. Some kind of way they didn't deport him. And then later on, he argued in favor of asylum so he could stay in the country because that's where he wanted to stay and continue gang activity because they tolerate that under woke leftist Democrats. Remember, Joe Biden was president at the time. So, of course, he's like, oh, I'd be good to just continue being a criminal forever in America with no consequence. In 2021, some woke judge allowed him to get an asylum claim saying that, well, literally a rival gang was going to attack him. As a matter of fact, Scott Jennings, again, called this same point out.
There's due process that exists in this country for everybody. And the fact that this man had received no due process, he was effectively disappeared to a foreign country, a country which he came from, which he was basically got asylum.
It's not a foreign country. He lives there.
Excuse me, no, he does not live there.
He's a citizen of El Salvador.
Scott, excuse me, he got asylum in this country.
He's a citizen.
Scott,
does he have asylum?
Excuse me, let me finish.
No, he doesn't.
No, it's not that he. Sorry, it's not that he got asylum. He got a judge to say that he could not be.
Does he have a deportation order?
Excuse me, he could not be. Can you let me finish? He could not be. He could not be rendered back to El Salvador because he was at risk of being harmed in El Salvador. That is what a federal judge. That is what a federal judge.
By who? No, who was he at risk of?
Excuse me. That was what a federal judge said. He could not be deported. Who could he be at risk by? I don't know.
But a rival gang.
No. Excuse me, Scott. Excuse me. Stop. Do you really believe that this guy's an MS-13 member? Because
I've got two heads of state telling me that they believe it.
Oh, okay. Your heads of state. Okay. Barack Obama said that.
So if a rival gang is going to attack you, What do you mean a rival gang? How do you have a rival gang? I don't have a rival gang. You know why? Because I'm not an effing gang member. Not a gang member. Like, if you're not a gang member, what do you mean rival gang? So, guys, the Democrats are just lying. They're just caught up with lies again. And what they're going to try to do is, as this just completely falls apart, which in my opinion it already has, eventually they're just going to start sweeping this under the rug. They're hoping desperately that something else bad happens with the Trump administration so they can focus on that, because obviously this is not a winning issue for them. This is not a hill to die on. And I think a lot of them know that, but they're not sure what the hell else to do. So being genuine, like I told you, being genuine and honest and good and fighting for your constituents, actual American citizens, it's America last with these people. It's everyone else deserves their sympathy. The illegal alien gang member, the bad guy, the person who does bad in life is being rewarded. And because this person is finally getting punished, the Democrats are crying and screaming like a bunch of little babies. But an innocent woman who didn't do anything wrong to anybody, had 5 kids, perished brutally, according to court documents and literal physical evidence of blood on the wall and rocks, the holes in the lady's head, gruesome stuff. The radical left Democrats don't care about any of that, including Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen. These people should be ashamed of themselves. People need to be fired. People need to be voted out. This is just disgusting to me, but I'm glad that we could at least roast them for looking stupid. I'm glad Pam Bondi posted the receipts, and I'm glad it was discovered that this fool was a wife beater, so we could make an even bigger fool out of the radical left Democrats and see how long they're going to keep defending this. You think they're going to keep defending it even with this new information coming out? You think they're still going to keep saying the same thing? Oh, due process. Oh, there's no evidence. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
The fact that this guy wanted to put Trump in prison, but get this guy out of prison, an MS-13 terrorist who's accused of hitting his wife, is crazy.